So today, I'm just sharing a shower thought I had. Um, it's just, it's kind of just me rambling. But if you're new, I'm not the storyteller. Um, but moving into things, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you obviously have it in front of you. Um, Fucking great show, and now has even more movies. A movie came out. I'm surprised. Love the brand, and there's been a very interesting trend over the last few years that I noticed. Uh, so I started the show with TMNT 2012 and 2003, and the trend I'm noticing coming from that show and watching the new stuff is that the turtles are no longer kind of sharing the same body types. They all look kind of they're progressively looking more and more different, especially in the newest show. I believe it's the newest show, the one where they have magic. I haven't watched it. Um, uh, this is not a bad thing, by the way. It's very interesting and adds something new to each iteration of the characters, especially as uh, each show is basically a reboot of their universe. So every new iteration is different. You don't have to watch every show if it's not your tea. And I prefer 2012, 2003, and the OG movies, and that's just me. That's my TMNT stuff. Um, Also the comics, always it doesn't like the comics are very much so longer form stuff. Like that's really good. 2012 is actually very inspired by the IDW, I believe. But I actually prefer the turtles having the same body type. Uh, from a kind of storytelling perspective, I actually kind of like it, or at least from a show's perspective. And that's actually because of the fight scenes. Um, I've been rewatching 2012 recently, and all the turtles have unique fighting styles and roles in that show. But the show does establish that they are kind of the same in terms of strength and ability. Every turtle is super strong and durable. They take a lot of hits. None are particularly stronger than the others. Like obviously Raph's strong, but he's not. Looking at him, you don't see him as this hulking monster. You just see him as just he's actually the short one. Um, uh, Meanwhile, when Shredder grabs Leo by the face and roundhouse kicks him, it actually really maintains believability in the show, as Shredder in that same fight has just dogged the other turtles. He's clearly matching them in strength and stuff, and it doesn't make a certain turtle more. It doesn't make one turtle seem more like when they fight. You don't know anything about and none are considered physically superior. Uh, as established in the first episode of that show, Leo and Raph are the most skilled in combat. But looking at them, you don't see that. You don't see, um, like watching them. Yeah, you can tell how they are great warriors. But looking at them, you don't see how one is physically superior from the other. I like that, as the show gives very visible proof that all the turtles are very even, and then elaborates on what makes each one different and what they bring to a fight, what is unique about them. Mikey has quite a few scenes showing he doesn't need to think to fight, going purely off his instincts. And it's actually something that's very big in season one, maybe season two. It's been a little bit. Donnie has episodes dedicated to him relying on his technology and to improve his very lackluster fighting ability. Out of the entire team, he's the worst at fighting, but he has Metalhead, he has gadgets. Um, Raph is established as the best fighter in the show at the start. Obviously, he beats Leo, and he even after Leo surpasses him, Raph maintains being a great brawler. He's whenever there's a fight, Raph comes in and he is solid. Um, And Leo, of course, as the show goes on, he goes from the second best to being the best, which is awesome. And you also see how he becomes a better leader. But this is something you see over the course of the show. It's not something that, watching it, you kind of just tell their roles. Like, if you showed someone who's never seen TMNT a picture of all four turtles next to each other, they wouldn't know, oh, that guy's the leader. This guy's the best fighter. This guy is this guy's the brute. This guy's the smart one. They wouldn't tell that off of just seeing the characters. Well, maybe they would from like the facial expressions, but like they wouldn't. It wouldn't be so simple. It would be a little more difficult. So essentially, what I'm trying to say is that 2012's similar body types made a visual comparison to all the turtles, and then used that to show how they were different in a much more interesting way, um, at least in my opinion. But that's it's preference. Um, this was just a sour thought. Something cool I noticed.